Hello, everyone. This is Mark Anderson. I'm sure you recognize me. I will be your instructor for the internship course for the summer 2020. And I know you probably have some questions about what's going to happen with the program and what's going to happen with the outcomes. Are you going to be involved in? Uh, Typically, we do this in a meeting before the course starts. Excuse me. So with the coronavirus going on, we're going to have to do some things through video, and I hope you don't mind that. So right off the bat, just welcome to the BSNS 2423 internship experience. If you're enrolled in this class, that means that you're in the manufacturing program, and pretty much you have to take this class to graduate with an associate's degree. Now, you're probably wondering who's all seeing this video. Um, there are a total of, I think at this point, six, or maybe I just sent in some paperwork, so maybe seven internship students. So, how does that work? Well, there's four internship students that are CSL apprenticeship program students. Those four students are going to have their own course. So they're going to be in the business 2423 internship experience, but they're going to have their own course section, I should say. Then the individual students after that, the two or three individual students after that, have their own internship section. Okay? So that means that you're all enrolled in the business 2423 internship experience course, but basically you're in your own section, which means that you're going to have your own Canvas page. And the reason why I do that is because not everybody's a CSL employee, not everybody's a Heartland Harvest employee, and on and on. So and you're not all maintenance, you're not all welding, you're not all machine tool. So all that makes a difference as far as your internship is handled. So what I typically do is I create a section for individuals. And the only difference this time is CSL, that apprenticeship program, that cohort of students, they're going to have their own, the four students are going to have their own section. I hope that clears that up. So what is going to happen is I'm working on it as we speak on my computer over here. I'm on my iPad now, but to the right of me, I have my desktop fired up, and I have the course syllabus for the internship course, and I'm working on that now. Each of the sections are going to have your own course syllabus, okay? And where are you going to find that? Well, each one of your sections then is going to have your own Canvas page. So the CSL students are going to have their own Canvas page. The other two or three students are going to have their own Canvas page individually. So when you look on the Canvas page, don't freak out. You're going to be the only student enrolled in that section, okay? Except for the CSL students. There's going to be four of you, okay? So what that does, that allows me to create a course syllabus and a calendar of events and that type of things that are appropriate for you and your company that you work for and the track you're in, if you're welding or maintenance, machine tool, or twiddle, okay? So what that's going to happen is on Monday, June 1st, your Canvas pages will open. So that is my goal, is to get everything ready on your individual Canvas page on June 1st. And you should be, all of you have had me as a student by now, or have me as an instructor by now, and you know how my Canvas pages are. Basically a place to go to find your assignments, and basically it's a placeholder for grades. We're going to do the same for the internship course. You will never ever have to submit anything to Canvas, and I never want you to send me a message from Canvas. All right, so Any correspondence that we do from this point on will be via email or through video. Okay, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But if you need to ask me something, talk to me about something, submit something, it's going to be through your KCC student email. Okay, just typical like we always do. Okay. So once you enter your Canvas page, you will see the course syllabus. Now the course syllabus is kind of lengthy because it has a bunch of forms at the very end, and those forms are very important. And the very first form that I need you to do, which, a matter of fact, I think I might send it out to you guys via email. Yeah, I think I might. And that's your agreement form. Okay, and that agreement form is that something that you and your supervisor and I, all three of us, have to sign. Okay, and that all that is that we are agreeing to sponsor you as an employee, as an intern. That's what your employee is signing. They're also saying that we are going to give you 240 hours of employment during this 8-week session. Now, that's an important thing. I'm going to segue just for a second. Summer session is only 8 weeks. Okay, typically this course is ran in a 16-week section, for a semester. So you chose summer, so now you only have half the amount of time to do the same amount of work. So I hope you know that. So we have 16 weeks down to 8, and then within that 8 weeks, Department of Labor internships requires you to work 240 hours. Okay. If you, and I think I've talked to some of you already, if you have an issue with possibly not getting your 240 hours in 8 weeks, that's 30 hours a week, you need to let me know, and we need to talk about things. We'll work it out. Okay. Back to what we were talking about, though. I think what I'm going to have to do is email you that agreement, because with that, your supervisor has to sign that agreement saying that we're going to give you those 240 hours over the summer. You're going to have, as an intern, you're going to have some requirements and duties to do, and what your signature indicates is that you're going to agree to those things that you have to do. And then I have to sign it as your instructor saying I am going to do the things that I'm supposed to do. Now, is this all legal and take you to court and all that kind of stuff? No, basically what that is an agreement. Okay, and so that's what we're going to be doing. So just keep an eye out for your KCC student email. I'm going to send that out and just explain to your direct supervisor, and then that supervisor is going to be your direct supervisor for the rest of the 8 weeks. So we're going to try to keep it consistent. If you have 2 or 3 people that you report to, talk to those 2 or 3 people, come together in agreement, and find out who, if it's going to be one, or I've done it where I've had interns have more than one supervisor come into these meetings and evaluations and your internship program, and there's more than one supervisor. That's fine, but as long as we have somebody on a consistent basis for the next 8 weeks that can be with you during this internship time. That's a requirement that you have to have, okay? And what that indicates too is when they sign off saying that, yes, you are going to be an intern. Not only are you going to be an employee of, let's say, Heartland Harvest, you're also going to be an intern. So as the business is concerned, those are 2 different entities, but they're agreeing to combine them into one for this semester, okay? So basically what to let your supervisors know that this is going to be, called an internship. We're going to be calling it a paid internship because you are getting paid, but, technically you are still going to be an employee. Nothing should change. Hopefully, you will be getting paid the same benefits. Nothing of that's going to change. Okay, so we're just going to have this agreement that during this next 8 weeks, you're going to be an intern, okay? And if there's any questions with that, please let me know and I can talk to your supervisor and we can work that out, okay? And in the agreement page, it kind of just shows that too. It really does a really good description of what you, and your supervisors will be, what you're responsible for, okay? So on Monday, check in with Canvas, then you should be able to see everything that you need to do. And the very first thing I like to do, and this is good that we're talking about it now because I like to do it in advance, is have that agreement signed. Okay? Once we have that agreement signed, we're all ready to go. All right? And then if you look at your course syllabus, you're going to see as me as your instructor. I will be your instructor for the next 8 weeks for everybody, for CSL cohort and all the other individuals that are enrolled in the internship courses. As you know, the best way to get a hold of me is through email, especially now. I am working from home, so through email is great. I will get back to you as soon as possible. You know that I've already emailed some of you over the weekend during the holidays. So, you know, if I see an email and I'm not doing anything, I'll respond to it even if it's at nighttime, okay? You will see that during this time that we're going to have, basically, it's going to be a little bit different for everybody, but ultimately your assignments are the same. Okay, ultimately they're going to be the same. So the first thing you have to do, and pardon me, I'm looking over my shoulder here, the weekly documented learning objective report and work journal. Okay, so what is that? So every week I need you to write me a 1 to 3 page report, 1 to 3 pages of what you've done during the week. So now, you know, I've seen some good reports, I've seen some pretty bad reports. I don't need a doctoral dissertation that's 300 pages long, okay? I hate to read, so I don't want to read more than 3 pages, okay? So, but I think within a week, that they say that you're a maintenance technician, I think you've done more than 1 page of work and 40 to 60 hours worth of work, right? So I need somewhere between 1 to 3 pages summarizing what you've done during the week and what tools you've used. If you've been on a safety committee or a quality committee, what special projects have you done? I've tore apart this motor control. I've done a PLCs. I've done this. I've done that. A couple people have replaced lighting in the break room or something like that that shows what you've done during that week. And hopefully during that time too, and it's pretty much spelled out in the syllabus, you know, of what I think is important for those papers, that 1 to 3 pages. You know, some of the tools that you've used. How about some of the classes, maybe electrical classes, you have a PAT or something, or a welding class with Mark or Roger, something that you've done in the past, or even a quality issue with Ron, or, you know, you've used some language that you've learned from the MSSC, something like that, that you've used at KCC. Now you've applied to what you're doing at your job for that week. See how this works? That's what this internship is. It's the progress from going from KCC, what you're learning there, to what you're doing at your job now. Okay, and I want that in somewhere in your paper. Okay. So how do you keep track of that? So I've had students actually keep a little work journal of what they've done during the week. I did this on Monday, I did this on Tuesday, I did this on Wednesday, and then they summarize. Do you hear me? Summarize on the page, 1 to 3 page summary. Okay. I don't need the weekly. I don't need your little notes. I just need the 1 to 3 pages. Okay. And when does that due? Well, you know, you'll see on there, I'm going to give you over a week to do it. So there's going to be a week lag between the end of the week and when that paper is due. Okay, you'll see it on the course calendar. You're going to have an evaluation. Typically you have 4, but since it's only 8 weeks, we're going to do 3. And that evaluation is on your course syllabus. Now we can tweak that evaluation. This is where it comes specialized, you know, with CSL or if you're another individual person. This becomes pretty much, the first time that we meet, and it's going to be a video conference, okay? And then you have to set that up with your supervisor, yourself, and myself. I don't care if it's Zoom or WebEx or whatever it is. We need to set up a meeting, and that's your responsibility. You're a big boy now. So you have to set that up, arrange that, set a meeting request, all that kind of stuff. And then we're going to have this evaluation. Typically, we do this in person. Obviously, that's not going to work out with the virus and everything else. So we're going to do this through the video. what that evaluation is, and you'll see it. It's just where you are. And the first time we do this evaluation, you could do it with your supervisor before we meet on the video to kind of save time, or you could do it with me. And now it's 50-50 in the past. I'm going to be honest with you. Some people do it in advance to kind of get it going because they can do this evaluation when they have time, and then they just report to me and show you what the evaluation is. We're done in 10 minutes. Or we do the evaluation, all three of us together, okay, for the first one. And that's your baseline evaluation. What you've done at CSL or Heartland Harvest or wherever you're working as your baseline. And then we do a second one in the middle, and then the last one we do towards the end of the semester as a wrap up. Okay, so we're going to do 3 of them. And you're responsible again for setting that up. We'll talk about that later, okay? What's next? Okay, so the next thing and the last thing you have to do, really it's not that bad. It's just weekly reports, you got those evaluations, and then the very end you have a project to do. Actually, you got 2 more things. The last thing you have to do is so you have to do a 3 to 5 page paper, kind of like a final exam paper of everything that you've done. Now, don't freak out. 3 to 5 pages, and you're like, oh my God, no way. Really, it's not that bad. And I actually have an outline for you to help you kind of fill in the blanks of what you're supposed to write. Okay, so that makes it actually pretty easy. And the first part of it is talking about the company that you work for. So the history and all that kind of stuff. And your job description, and then basically use your weekly documentation, those weekly reports. That helps you. So, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory and very easy. And that'll be the last thing that you submit to me. I also talked to Kim Schott. So Kim Schott, she's works at KCC, and I don't know if I think I've talked to you guys about her. She works at KCC, and she helps people with their resume and their cover letters. Now, you might have been at KCC when Ken Kreit used to do it. Well, she's the new Ken Kreit. She's wonderful. She's fantastic. And what we're going to do, too, is during your internship, during the 8 weeks, the first thing that you're going to do, if you have one, and we're going to talk about this later, and you'll be on the syllabus, is you're going to submit your cover letter and your resume to Kim. Now, she's agreed to all this for every one of you. So this is an awesome experience. And I know that if you're working for CSL or Heartland Harvest or wherever you're working, you probably want to stay there. Okay, typically, you're probably thinking, well, I'm not going anywhere. Well, your resume is not just for getting a new job; it's to a holding place for valuations that you can reflect back onto, and it's just good to have. Put on your laptop, put it on your desktop, whatever, and put it on your front, like your startup. And every time you do a safety thing or quality, or you've done some training, or you have OSHA certifications, you add that to your resume. So what she's decided to do is to help you guys. Now, even if you have a resume, which is great, she wants to look at it, and then I can guarantee you that she's going to be able to tweak it to make it better, better for submission, for online submissions, narrow it down so it doesn't look like a doctoral dissertation. It should be at least 1 to 2 pages, not 5. I've actually seen that. And also the order in which it's in, and then the cover letter to go with it. So she's going to help you with that. And so I'm going to put in I have to write it in your course syllabus because this is brand new. I will tell you when to do it, her information, her name again, her email address, her KCC phone number, that type of thing. I think that's exciting. I think that's going to really help you. And it'll be very interesting to see that. Basically, that's it. There's not much more that I can tell you. And, I would just make sure that, this is supposed to be the last course that you take, one of the last courses, especially the last semester of courses. And at this point, what it's like to, be responsible for a college course. You know that when you had me as an instructor, I'm pretty easy. All right, I'm very flexible. I will be because for certain things, because of the coronavirus, and then maybe you're not very into setting up conference videos or something like that, teleconferencing, guess what? You're going to probably have to do that sometime in your life, especially, as you get experience at your company. I'm not going to be as lenient in this class, okay? If there's a due date, I want it done by that date. No excuses. My dog ate it, my computer's not working, that type of thing, all right? This is the class that buttons up everything that you've learned at KCC. You know that, at this point, that everything has to be turned in on time. I want it correctly. I don't want, you know, the 1 to 3 page report to look like it was a text message, or you forget your name. Yes, people have forgotten to put their name on it. Or the course number. You know how to write a paper by this time because you've had the English class. I don't need it APA, MLA, any of that stuff, but I do need it to the point where I can read it, understand it, and it has a introduction, it has, an ending, and it's very clear of, the bullet points that are within that, of that writing, okay? So I want it organized, I want it clean, I want it double spaced, I want it on a Word document, not handwritten, that type of thing. Okay, and it's all going to be spelled out in the course syllabus. And at any time that you have any questions, I really want you to email me. I'm here for you. So hopefully this helps you understand what is going to happen with you in this, probably one of the final courses at KCC. And hopefully you're going to learn some things out of this. You're going to learn a lot about yourself, I think. You're going to learn about your company. You're going to learn about, say if you're industrial maintenance, you're going to learn about that. Some people, I've had 1 or 2 students say, okay, I chose the wrong thing. I don't want to be welder. I don't want to be machine tool. Really? Well, at first I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that. Well, that's also a good thing. Let's find out what you don't like too, Let's change your program around. So I think that everybody that signed up for this course, the CSL students and the individual students, you're all great. You've all done very well in your program. I've had you as students, and I know you pretty well, and I think you're going to be able to do a great job. And yes, we have a COVID issue that we have to hurdle over, but I think we're going to be able to do it because we're going to work together with it. Okay? So keep an eye on your KCC email. Always have it out now. Make sure you check it every day. And then on Monday, check your Canvas page. It should be open with your course syllabus on it. Okay? All right. We'll talk to you later. Wash your hands. Be safe. And we'll talk to you later. Okay? Thanks.